remain standing for the national anthem, and then also following that, the invocation by Reverend Roger Spencer, pastor of the Presbyterian Church of Okmulgee. Understanding. Your wisdom is greater than all our small minds can imagine or contain. But we thank you for the minds that you have given each of us, for the ability to think, to reason, to remember, to wonder. Keep us always seeking new truths and understandings and new wisdom, so that we might always be eager to explore your world, searching for new understandings, exploring new mysteries, delighting in new discoveries. For the days, weeks, trimesters we have spent here, we are grateful. For the guidance, the patience, the wisdom, challenges of teachers, counselors, and staff, we give thanks. For the support and encouragement of family and friends, we are grateful. For the new friendships we have made, for the new insights gained, for the new opportunities explored, we praise you. Strengthen us now to apply our new understanding. Take away needless anxiety or confusion of purpose. Give us a confidence in the future you plan, where energies may be gathered up and given to neighbors in love. That while we seek to make a living, may we also lead lives of usefulness and find joy in serving others and in upbuilding of our society. As you have guided us in the past, even when we were unaware of your presence, continue to guide us in the future to endless new possibilities. You are a great God. To you be all honor and glory, now and always. Amen. At this institution, we have many very loyal community supporters, and Reverend Spencer is one of those. And we have the pastor help us with graduation on a rotating basis, and I'm always very pleased when it's Pastor Spencer's term. And I just want to thank you again for assisting us this evening, Pastor Spencer. Thank you. Also want to thank Mr. Robert Leckie of our staff for the music this evening. Well, to all of us and the graduates, graduation is an exciting time, and on behalf of the faculty and employees of this institution, I want to take this opportunity to extend congratulations to the graduates. And so members of this is the 115th graduating class, and distinguished platform guests, and family and friends of this class, and ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us in recognizing the academic achievement of 230
candidates for graduation this evening. These 230 candidates for graduation come from nearly 90 cities in Oklahoma, 8 different states, and several foreign countries. Graduation rolls around in a hurry. The students are here just 2 short years with us. It may not seem so short at times to them, but we're always pleased, and it's always a very joyful occasion. Graduation, we know for graduates, but also for those of us that have the opportunity, faculty and employees, to work with each of them as they pursue their educational career. So on behalf of the faculty and staff, again, associated with Oklahoma State University Technical Branch, I want to extend congratulations to each graduate. I'd like to point out to you that many of tonight's graduates have earned a place either on the registrar's or the director's honor roll. And the individuals earning these honors are marked on your commencement programs. The recipients are wearing special ribbons designating the honor rolls. Director's honor roll students are wearing orange ribbons, and registrar's honor roll students are wearing white ribbons. Also in your program, there's a very special recognition for all students who have had at least a 99% attendance record. I think you'll be pleased to note the number of students that earned that. Before I present our speaker for this evening, there are several guests that I would like to introduce, and I'd appreciate it if you would help us recognize these people. We have Mrs. Roger Spencer, who is the wife of our pastor this evening. Mrs. Spencer. We have from Henrietta this evening, State Senator Frank Shurden. Senator Shurden. And from Morris, we have State Representative Mr. M.C. Lease and his wife, Glenda. And from Okmulgee, our State Representative Glenn Johnson. Would also like to introduce, not as a guest, but as our president from Stillwater, Dr. Lawrence Boger. And also from Stillwater, Mrs. Boger. Finally, another very special group I want to recognize this evening before I introduce our speaker, and that's the OSU faculty and staff. As you know, we have nearly 400 employees at this institution that are committed and dedicated to helping students receive the very best technical education possible. So to all of OSU Tech faculty employees, a big thank you, and we really appreciate the effort that you do. It is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker for this evening. Our speaker is Dr. Joe A. Leone. Dr. Leone is the Chancellor of the Oklahoma State System of Higher Education. There have only been 3 chancellors in the history of the state system of higher education, which dates back to March of 1941. The Chancellor is the Chief Administrative Officer of the State Regents for Higher Education, the coordinating board of control for all public colleges and universities in the state of Oklahoma. Dr. Leone was selected as Chancellor in October of 1981, and he previously served as Executive Vice Chancellor for approximately 4 years. He served as President of Rose State College in the metropolitan Oklahoma City area for 7 years, and prior to accepting the presidency of Rhodes, served 6 years as a member of the administrative staff at the University of Oklahoma. And while at the University of Oklahoma, Chancellor Leone served on the graduate faculty teaching in the field of higher education administration. He has public school experience, including 4 years as a division director in the Oklahoma State Department of Education. His educational assignments have included working at all levels of public education, and his professional career includes employment in the oil and gas industry in Houston, Texas. At the national level, he is past chairman of the Federal Relations Committee of Commissions and Chancellors of Higher Education Systems in the United States. He currently serves as a member of the Executive Committee for the State Higher Education Executive Officers. He brings a lifelong commitment to the improvement of higher education, not only in Oklahoma, but the entire country. He feels that the state of Oklahoma is making substantial improvements in the quality of public higher education, and as an example being the most recent in public colleges and universities, the minimum requirements for the bachelor's degree. Chancellor Leone received his doctorate in education with emphasis in administration from the University of Oklahoma after completing graduate work at East Central University, Oklahoma State University, and Idaho State University. Postdoctoral higher education leadership seminars were also completed at Michigan State University and the University of Notre Dame. His undergraduate degree in business administration was earned at East Central University of Ada. Chancellor Leone serves on a large number of professional boards, councils, and committees, and has been active in community affairs. He and his wife, Betty, who has her doctorate also in higher education from the University of Oklahoma, live in Midwest City, and they have 2 sons and a daughter. I believe you would agree with me that we have an outstanding speaker this evening, and one that truly has higher education interests at the highest level, and we could not ask for a better person to be leading the higher education system with the challenges that we have at this time. Would you please, with me, welcome our speaker, Chancellor Joe Leone.
Thank you, Dr. Cavendish, President Boger, platform guests, honored graduates, and ladies and gentlemen. A couple things I'd like to say to you before I get into my remarks. First of all, I say to you students, and the old joke, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that I misplaced my glasses as I was coming over here and thought I would not be able to read the speech. The bad news is that someone loaned me a pair. I'm from this county. I was born in Henrietta, although Senator Sheridan denies it constantly. I was born in this county. This is my 3rd opportunity to be your commencement speaker, and so I've been around here long enough to get a degree conferred on me. But it's always a privilege to come here because this particular institution, I feel, is one of a kind. And I don't mean one of a kind in the state system of higher education, but I mean one of a kind in the United States. You have a great reputation here, and you graduates should feel very comfortable because of the reputation of this institution, especially in business and industry. Outstanding institutions have outstanding leadership, and you have outstanding leadership at Oklahoma State University. It's been my privilege to know President Boger for a number of years, and he continues to provide outstanding leadership for all entities of Oklahoma State University, including this branch. And how delighted I am that Bob Cavendish is going to stay and be with us, and I know how delighted that you are. I would say to you in starting out that higher education in Oklahoma, despite of everything we hear and read, is still strong. And that should give you some confidence in the degree that you're to receive here after this evening. I'm going to start out by saying to you that you need to take great pride not only in this institution that you attended, but in your roots and what your hometown happens to be, whatever it is. And I'd like to start with that, and I'll end later asking you to have some faith and confidence in your place that you find in life or in your profession. But in between, I want to talk just a few minutes about some of the purposes of higher education, just let you relax and kind of reflect on what brought you here, why you're here, what drove you, what motivated you and your family to make the sacrifices that you have to make in order to pursue a higher education degree. And I'll go through 4 or 5 points as you kind of think back and reflect on what's happened to you here. The Carnegie Commission a few years ago published a document that indicated that the purposes of higher education would be the following. First, the education of the individual student and the provision of a constructive environment for your developmental growth. Now reflect back on what knowledge, what skills did you have when you came to this campus and started this educational process? And then think now about the level of knowledge and skill that you have. In higher education, we call that concept value added. What has been added to your knowledge and your skill and the environment that you found yourself in with your fellow students and with this fine faculty that has just been recognized. That is one of the fundamental purposes of your education here. The second purpose deals with advancing human capacity in society at large. We cannot be competitive in the state, in the nation, and in the world market that we find ourselves in unless we advance the human capacity in society, exactly what we're celebrating here tonight with you 200 plus graduates. What this country needs now is more people that have developed their capacity to a level that we will be more productive and therefore more competitive. And so that is a fundamental purpose of higher education and one that you've been involved with here for quite some time. Obviously, you had as a purpose not only developing this human capacity, but also being able to use that to provide a better standard of living for yourself. And that's a very fundamental and important reason for you being here. And it works. The latest Census Bureau data indicates that an individual with a college degree earns 39% more than the individual that just has finished high school. As you go up the age scales, it gets more pronounced. If you look at individuals with degrees in the age category 35 to 39, that spread gets greater and is 55%. And as you go up to the category 50 and above, it goes as high as 70-some%. Because people that don't have that skill, that knowledge, that union card, they rarely continue to progress as rapidly as you will. We understand that. The economic purpose of higher education is very clear. We also want to remind you that one of the basic purposes should be preparation for public responsibility, in addition to developing the skills and knowledge you need for entry in and progress through your chosen profession. The third purpose that I'll mention is educational justice for the post-secondary age groups. The provision of quality higher education programs and services. You should provide that as one of the purposes. The provision of reasonably access to higher education opportunities should be provided. And the provision of affordable higher education programs and services should be provided. concern for those individuals and those groups of individuals that are underserved in our higher education system should continue to be a concern of ours. Specifically, minorities by race and still women. So educational justice for the post-secondary age group should continue to be a concern of higher education. And always, we should concern ourselves with pure learning, supporting intellectual and artistic creativity. Concern for education to enter progress through the professions that I mentioned before and the specific jobs is always going to be a concern. But we have to also concern ourselves above that level with just the love of pure learning and the value of scholarship. And again, harping back to education for education's sake and education for public responsibility. And the last purpose that I'll just ask you to reflect on, remind yourself of, is that as an educated person, one of the purposes is to have individuals like you be able to evaluate society for self-renewal or through individual thought and persuasion. You carry a responsibility now to assist in finding solutions, to renew, to analyze and assess what we're doing, and through thought and persuasion, help find solutions. You'll be expected to provide this leadership now because our educational system is kind of like a pyramid. And as you move up, as you graduate here tonight, you'll be moving into a smaller category of people. And you are expected to provide leadership as college graduates. So those 5 purposes that I just ran through are things that in your educational process here, as you are going through and completing your degree, I'm sure you have reflected on those, maybe not exactly as I presented them, but it surely has concerned you. Let me get to the main 2 points that I have, and I have only 2 that I want you to remember and take with you. First, I want you to leave here with hope for the future. Secondly, I want you to always be realistic in evaluating yourself and have some assurance that you are contributing an important person in society. Point 1 now, in hope for the future. And let me use some words of Reverend Billy Graham. I was reading some of his material not long ago, and he said, I've had an opportunity, a great opportunity recently to speak to students all over this world. The great institutions in this country and the great institutions in many countries. And one of the common questions is, on every campus, same basic question, is there a real hope for the future? I thought Reverend Graham's response was appropriate for here tonight. And he said that our hope for the future is an educated public that has a strong belief in God and each day provides leadership exemplifying moral and ethical behavior. Then he said to these young people, I have 4 simple, basic rules or characteristics that I want to leave with you if you're going to help everyone realize this hope that you should have for the future. The characteristics you should have then, according to Reverend Graham, number 1 is integrity, what you do. Second, personal security, both emotional and spiritual. 3, a realistic sense of priorities, what's important to you. And 4, the quality of vision. Have a vision for what you can do, a vision for what society can do, and what should be done. So the first point that I make is that you should have hope, and your hope is through an educated public, and you're a part of that process, and you've been involved in it, and I encourage you to continue in that process. My second point is simply that I think you need to be satisfied and be happy and feel good about yourself. And on that, I'm going to use a Chinese parable, and if I can see all of it, I'm going to read it. If I cannot, I'll paraphrase it. The Chinese parable is about a stone cutter. There was once a stone cutter who was dissatisfied with his life and his position in life. One day, he passed a wealthy merchant's house, and through the open gateway, he saw many fine possessions and important visitors. He said to himself, how important that merchant must be. So he was become very envious then, and he wished that he could be like the merchant. He would no longer have to be living the life of a stone cutter. To his great surprise, he suddenly became the merchant, enjoying more luxury and power than he'd ever dreamed of, envied and detested by many. But soon a high official passed by, carried in a velvet chair, accompanied by attendants, and escorted by soldiers beating gongs. Everyone, no matter how wealthy, had to bow down before this individual. And so he said to himself, now this merchant said, how powerful that official is. I wish I could be this high official. And then he suddenly was carried everywhere in this great chair, feared and hated by the people all around that had to bow to him as he passed. It was a hot summer day, and this was very uncomfortable and sticky in this chair. And he looked up at the sun. It shone proudly in the sky, unaffected by this great official's presence. So he said to himself, how powerful is the sun, he thought. I wish I could be the sun. And of course he was. And the sun shone down on everyone, scorching the fields, cursed by the farmers and the laborers. But a huge black crowd came over between him and the earth. And the light could no longer shine on everything around. And so then he looked again, and he was obviously dissatisfied with his state in life everywhere, no matter what he was. And he talked about how powerful this storm cloud was. And he said, I wished I could be like the cloud. And he became the cloud. And again, he soon found that he was being pushed away by some strong force. And of course it was the wind. And then he wanted to be the wind. And he became the wind. And again, it was blowing so all around. It was uprooting trees. People were concerned and hating this wind. And so again he said, how powerful that big stone is there. The wind can't affect it at all. And so he said, I wished I could be that huge stone. And this is the end of the parable, because he then became the stone. More powerful and enduring than anything else on earth. The wind, the rain, the sun, nothing could change it. But he stood there, all of a sudden, he heard the sound of a hammer pounding a chisel into that solid rock. And he felt himself being changed, despite all he could do. What could be more powerful than this stone, he thought to himself. And he looked down, and he saw below him the figure of the stone cutter. So he had made the complete circle. He had wanted to be many, many things. He was given the privilege of being many, many things. And he ended up wanting to be what he was at the beginning, the stone cutter. So I leave you with that parable. you want to make sure that you evaluate yourself and take great, I think, favor in knowing that whatever you do it extremely well. So my final words are, enjoy life, be happy, feel special.
Chancellor Leone, thank you very much for those excellent remarks. And also want to take this opportunity to thank you for taking time from a busy and demanding schedule to be with us this evening. We certainly appreciate your consideration. Again, thank you. I would guess that our president could be many different places every evening, every day of the year. But one place that we can always count on him being is at graduation at this institution. I told him earlier that with the change in calendar so that we end the fall term before Christmas break, graduates, instead of coming back 3 weeks afterwards and taking finals, starting this fall, it will mean that there will be 4 graduations at this institution this year instead of the traditional 3. But we are always very pleased to have our president with us at graduation. And now in some of Oklahoma's most challenging times, you can find evidence of his leadership everywhere. And as we cope with the new challenges at this institution, he is now providing us with some outstanding support and encouragement needed to accomplish our tasks. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure for me to introduce what I consider to be one of Oklahoma's finest leaders, the president of Oklahoma State University System, Dr. Boger.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Someone asked me if I get tired coming over here so often, and the answer was definitely no. This is a place that I come to kind of get my battery recharged and lift up my spirits, renew my commitment to education and to you who are a part of the Oklahoma State University Technical Branch at Oklahoma. Dr. Leone indicated that this is his 3rd time around to be a commencement speaker. I haven't had that honor, and I'm not going to make another speech tonight. That's you. And I have my glasses too. But I've been here 25 or 26 times already, and I've been a part of this enterprise for 40% of its lifetime. And I feel the same today as I did when I first set foot on this campus, June 16, 1977. This is a great place, as Chancellor Leone indicated. It's one of a kind. The state of Oklahoma, yes, in the United States. You know, we opened the ceremonies here tonight with the Star Spangled Banner, paying respect to the flag, stars and stripes. But I want to remind you, graduates, that you want to pay respect to the blue flag over here too. Because that blue flag, the people in the audience, part of this great state of Oklahoma, have contributed far more to your education than you have. Significant that we have your local senator and 2 representatives here, people who support this institution, but they support it because the people of the state of Oklahoma support it. If you get out and become residents of this state, remember that when you pay your taxes, pay them with a smile. Quickly, two other points. Remember, this is a commencement exercise, not the ending of something, but the beginning of something. You launch your professional career. It's a transition from your learning experience to your practicing experience. But I think in the time that you've been here, many of the fields that you've studied in, you've come to recognize how dynamic, how changing they are. So the admonition that I make to you on this point is, be sure you continue to learn. If you don't continue to learn, and learn more probably in the next 3 years after you leave here than you did in the time that you spent getting here, you're going to be out of date. There are many opportunities to do this. Take advantage of it. And then finally, I'd say, become active in your community, in your church, community service organizations, business organizations. You owe it to others around you to help improve the environment in which you live, in which you work. So as I said, this is a commencement. Make the most of it as you leave here tonight. Remember the words of Chancellor Leone, have hope and apply yourself, apply your talents realistically, enjoy life, be happy. With that, I want to say congratulations to each and all of you and extend to you good wishes for the future.
Again, Mr. President, thank you, and we certainly appreciate you and Mrs. Boger being with us this evening. And now to assist in the award presentation, I'd like to introduce Oklahoma State University Technical Branch, Okmulgee's Associate Director for Academic Affairs, Dr. Ed Darby.
Members of the platform, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the Oklahoma State University Technical Branch, Okmulgee, it's my pleasure to present these candidates for the conferral of their academic awards. Dr. Klavinish.
Thank you, Dr. Darby. And now, on the recommendation of the faculty and staff, and with the approval of the Oklahoma State University Board of Regents and the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, Oklahoma State University President Boger, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, it is my honor and privilege with President Boger to present you with the appropriate academic award. Before we start, I'd like to say to family and friends, you're most welcome to take pictures. We'd ask that you stay within the established marked area, and if you would, return to your seat when you're graduated.
Christopher S. Ellison McAllister. James O. Harris, El Paso, Texas. Christopher Austin Hawes, Comanche. David W. Heath, Henrietta. Alan B. Hoffman, Okmulgee. Tim Holt, Colgate. Kevin Wayne Kramer, Duncan. Chet Allen Lemon, Butler, Missouri. Robert Allen Long, McAllister. Jeffrey D. Ogle, Tulsa. Edward E. Raver, Wilmot, Ohio. Gregory P. Squeezy, Isai. Eric A. Tankersley, Owasso. Danny M. Wallace, Lawton. Alan D. Williams, Okmulgee. Daniel W. Wise, Tulsa. The following graduates represent the automotive department. Myron D. Barron, Morris. The following graduate is the recipient of the Oklahoma Automobile Dealers Association Outstanding Automotive Body and Paint Student Award. The graduate is Robert Dyer from Apache. Arthur L. Morrison, Poto. Jerry L. Powell, Thayer, Missouri. The following graduate is the recipient of the Oklahoma Automobile Dealers Association Outstanding Automotive Mechanic Student Award. The graduate is Michael DeVore from Henrietta. Urban J. Emerson, Thoreau, New Mexico. Randy W. Fiery, Sandy Springs. Dwight D. Grissom, Sulphur. Roger D. Inman, Moore. Tommy B. Kennard, Wewoka. Terry King, Eufaula. Alex Navarrete, Broken Arrow. David E. Osborne, Okmulgee. David W. Phillips, Stigler. Laura Holt, Lawton. Gary W. Roberts, Tom. Roger D. Stubbs, Henrietta. Dan Sosi, Shiprock, New Mexico. Donna B. Quinn, Morris. The following graduate is the recipient of the Oklahoma Automobile Dealers Association Outstanding Automotive Parts Management Student Award. The graduate is Ronald Keys from Jenks. Patrick Simmons, Thayer, Missouri. The following graduates represent the Business and Office Occupations Department. Jeffrey D. Alston, Sapulpa. Shirley M. Osbrook, Okmulgee. Susan A. Bailey, Okmulgee. Joyce N. Parker, Okmulgee. The following graduate is the recipient of the Data Processing Management Association Outstanding Graduate Award. The graduate is Lloyd Blevins from Henrietta. The following graduate is the recipient of the Business and Office Occupations Outstanding Student Award, Keith R. Bridgman, Tulsa. Virginia W. Roach, Okmulgee. Cynthia S. Brown, Okmulgee. Candace D. Carter, Okmulgee. Carol A. Glenn, Okmulgee. Michael A. Griggs, Juanita. Following graduate is the recipient of the Phi Beta Lambda Outstanding Graduate Award. The graduate is Diane Ramadan Grissom from Davis. Eudora Gale Hamilton, Bartlesville. Preston W. Jackson, Okmulgee. Raymond Cote, Ghana, West Africa. Gwen E. Mangum, Okmulgee. Michael J. Mangus, Okmulgee. Pamela S. Hankins Mitchell, Okmulgee. Lanisha L. Taft Navarre, Eufaula. Gwendolyn C. Robinson, Patton. Karen C. Schillensberger, Wichita. James M. Smith, Astoria, Ohio. Michael S. Stokes, Henrietta. Virginia L. Warren, Morris. Deborah D. Watkins, Morris. Tammy L. Lyon, Okima. Lori F. Martin, Buena Vista, Pennsylvania. Linda K. McCormick, Okmulgee. Francis Mulvihill, Henrietta. Caleb R. Milam, Schulter. Luana Louise Stewart, Allen. The following students, or rather graduates, represent the Construction Technology Department. Eric F. Lehman, Holton. Renee Roberts, Dustin. Oscar S. Arnold, Tonawall. Wayne R. Scott, Okmulgee. Kurt A. Spencer, Butler. The following graduates represent Diesel, Joseph Austin Ahmed, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Faisal Al-Tabadi, Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Jamil Al-Zahari, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Howard A. Adamson, Okmulgee. The following student has earned the Outstanding General Education Student Award. John Edward Biggs, Hitchcock. David H. Carl, Cayenne. Aaron Ford, Once. Wesley J. Ford, Ardmore. Timothy Mark Goodwin, Eufaula. Ricky D. Rose, Cromwell. Robert E. Hitt, Jr., Tulsa. Dickie D. Jones, Jr., Okmulgee. Chancey L. Lambert, Canadian. The following graduate is the recipient of the Student Senate Leadership Award. The graduate is Paul McClellan from Willow Springs, Missouri. Benjamin Elgin McVicker, Sand Springs. Gary Lynn Murray, Hayworth. Kevin R. Pilot, Salina. Michael A. Ray, Hobbs, New Mexico. James Earl Smith, Nowata. Terrence Russell, Tulsa. Darren Justin West, Kanawha. The following graduates represent drafting technology. Daniel D. Arnett, Henrietta. Don E. Bridges, Jr., Clarksville, Arkansas. Jody C. Derrick, Woodward, Oklahoma. Kirk Fight, Caucus City. Thomas W. Hawkins, Lawton. Clarence T. King, Cleveland. John E. Lefevers, McAllister. Ricky Marble, Muskogee. Dwayne L. Selby, Bixby. Lisa M. Thornton, Sapapa. Harry A. Freeman, Tulsa. The following students represent electronics. Hamid Al-Azawari, Hayat, Saudi Arabia. Bill Davis Jr., Saskatchewan. Michael K. Hansen, Seminole. John E. Rhodes, Morris. Jeffrey Allen Hedford, Woodward. Saud Al-Sharif Hashim, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Jeffrey B. Nell, Alvis. Lyndon Tracy Bowman, Elk City. Robert C. Gray IV, Wetumpka, Oklahoma. Joseph A. Carlos, Fort Gibson. Frank E. Zorito, Claremont, Oklahoma. John L. G. Mulgrove. Darren K. Hamilton, Eufaula. Finn Lai, Oklahoma City. Mark A. Lassiter, Norman. Van M. Lee, Tulsa. L. Avi Nash, Morris. Charles Robert Osmond, Okmulgee. William P. Perico, Shamrock. Robert E. Peterson, Krebs. Philip A. Scobie, Monette, Missouri. Donald L. Streets, Bartlesville. True Train, Tulsa. Jim Kramer, Monette, Missouri. Travis L. Young, Proctor. Abid Al-Babai, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Joe E. Barrington, Okima. Charles W. Riestein, Kokoshi, Oklahoma. Harold J. Work, Claremore. The following graduates represent the Food Service Occupations Department. John W. Hardy, Morris. Catherine L. Hardy, Morris. Emma R. Jacobs, Henrietta. James David Reeder, Okmulgee. Sandra K. Semple, Okmulgee. Dennis W. Choate, Okmulgee. Quinn Todd, Tulsa. Sarah Ann Carmen, Tallahassee. Charles W. Green, Shawnee. Shelley R. Griffith, Wellston. Annette S. Lawrence, Highland, Illinois. Janelle Raymond Montilla, Seminole. Annabelle Pratt, Red Rock. Jean A. Shane, Okmulgee. Lance D. Talbot, Tulsa. Gregory E. Tyson, Houston, Texas. William A. Treese, St. James, Missouri. Dennis Clay Trusty, Claremore. Rita Ruth Wallace, Phoenix, Arizona. William Gary Wright, Tulsa. The following graduates represent the Graphic Arts Occupations Department.
I need reference!
Lydia L. Elliott, Lansford. Clay C. Pollard. Lynette E. Ingersoll, Logan Club. Marty L. Inman, Waynoka. Carla A. Jackson, Santa Cruz. Patricia M. Jones. Matthew W. Perry, Sandy Springs. The following graduate is a recipient of the Marvin D. Queen Outstanding Portfolio Award. The graduate is Blair Mullins from Tulsa. graduate is the recipient of the Outstanding Printing Student Award. The graduate is Jacqueline Roxanne Lee from Sallisaw. Christy Ann Medeiros, Honolulu, Hawaii. Lisa Jean Stitt, Duncan. Clara L. Japonko, Okmulgee. The following graduates represent the Manufacturing Technology Department. The following graduate is the co-recipient of the Society of Manufacturing Engineers Outstanding Student Award. The graduate is Robert G. Nelson from Senegal. The following graduate is the co-recipient of the Society of Manufacturing Engineers Outstanding Student Award. The graduate is Ricky Darrell Phillips from Canada.
Reggie Phillips.
Jeffrey Arthur Sullivan, Clermont. The following graduates represent the Small Business Occupations Department. Doris J. Jones, Henrietta. David E. Horn, Stockton, Missouri. Harold D. Pemberton, Stigler. Ralph W. Wilson, Colgate. Timothy L. Marcus, Saskatchewan. Stanley Goody, Ottawa. Sandra J. Geisha, Stillwell. Terry L. Hascaro, Ada. Alfred K. Ruse, Tulsa. Mark A. Zortman, Fowler, Kansas. And Terry L. Zortman, Fowler, Kansas.
Graduates, congratulations again, and we're most proud of you and want to wish you every success. I would like to remind you that the OSU Tech Alumni Association, now which you're eligible for a membership in, is providing videotape, and you can contact them if you want a copy of the videotape of tonight's graduation exercises. Before departing, I'd like to remind you that each department, each instructional department, is hosting its graduates and the families in the respective departmental buildings, and the faculty and the department heads would certainly like to see all of you stop by for a few minutes after graduation. So members of the 115th graduating class, we wish you job success and certainly personal happiness. We appreciate all of you attending tonight. I'd like to encourage you to have an enjoyable but very safe trip home. And after the benediction, by Reverend Spencer. You will be dismissed. Thank you.
Go forth now into the world in peace and in hope. Be of good courage, hold on to that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Rather give strength to the faint-hearted, support to the weak, honoring all persons, rejoicing in God's Spirit among us. The blessings of God Almighty, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit be with us and remain with us now and always. Amen.